To start off this season, the Toronto Raptors have started with a 2-8 record, which is very surprising seeing as most people had them as a lock for the playoffs. And right now, they have looked like a lock for the lottery. So in today's video, I will be discussing what the Raptors' problems are and how they can fix them and what they should do if they don't get better. Before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video to help my channel grow because it only takes a second of your time. Subscribe to my channel to help me reach 700 subscribers before the end of January, and comment on this video to start a conversation with me because I respond to all of my comments. And play that intro. Start this season, the Raptors haven't been particularly good on offense or defense, as on offense they have ranked 19th in offensive rating. And I think their offense could improve a little bit, but I think they can be an average offensive team at best. And right now they're below average. But the surprising thing is how bad the Raptors have been on defense, as they've been ranked 17th in defensive rating. And I definitely believe that they can significantly improve, as Toronto has been a top 5 defense over the course of the last 2 seasons. And yes, I'm aware that they lost 2 big pieces in Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol. But even with those losses, I think they could still be a top 10 defense, as they still have a lot of quality defenders such as Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, and Chris Boucher. If they improve a bit on both ends, I think that can be enough to help them be as good as we think they can. I think it's also fair to bring up the fact that most of their losses have been close. For example, in their second game versus the Spurs, they only lost by 5 points and it came down to the last shot. And versus the 76ers, they lost by 7, but if you watch the whole game, you would know that it was very close from start to finish. And when they faced the Pelicans, it came down to the final shot again. And when they faced the Warriors, they lost by 1 point and lost on the final play. And when they faced the Portland Trailblazers, they lost by 1 point and lost on the final play. So if a few plays went different, Toronto could easily be 7-3 right now. But nonetheless, they're still 2-8. And the player who has gotten a lot of the blame is Pascal Siakam, who I believe has gotten more hate than he deserves, as so far this season, he's been pretty good, averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 45% from the field and 31% from 3. And sure, he's not at shooting as well as you would want, but that's just nitpicking, because some people are claiming he's not even an all-star, but I feel people are just following the narrative and not actually checking how he's been playing. I still don't think he's the best number 1 option on a contender, but at least he's an all-star level player. And people have been acting like he's been playing like a bum are terrible, and it's just not true. But although I think Siakam has played very good, Fred VanVleet has been the Raptors' best player so far, as he's been showing that he deserved that large contract. As so far this season, he's been averaging 21 points per game, 6 assists, shooting 45% from the field and 38% from 3. And as much as I love Fred, I think the fact that he has been our best player isn't a good sign. But nonetheless, Fred has been very good, and if he keeps up his play and the Raptors start winning, I think there might be a chance that Fred VanVleet could be the all-star on this team. Kyle Lowry has been his usual all-star self, averaging 19 points, 6 rebounds, and nearly 7 assists. And it looks like at 34, Kyle will still be an all-star level player, which I believe is an underrated thing, since I think Kyle should be more respected for how good he has been at his old age. And I don't think it's his fault that the Raptors have been losing. Chris Boucher so far has had a breakout season, as he is finally getting consistent playtime for the first time in his career, and he has showed out, averaging 14 points per game and 6 rebounds, shooting 57% from the field and 47% from 3. And he also has nearly been averaging 3 blocks per game. And seeing how good he's played, it leads me to believe he should be starting on the team, especially against teams that don't have a star center. And you have to take in the fact that he's playing so well and putting up great numbers in only 22 minutes. And I think he should be playing a little bit closer to 30 minutes because his play has definitely deserved it. Whereas Baines has been complete trash, averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds, and he hasn't even had a single block this season. And he shot 18% from 3. Just terrible. OG Anunoby hasn't been playing as good as I would have thought because I had him as a contender for the Most Improved Player award, but he still has been playing good, averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds, but shooting 31% from 3. And I believe his 3-point percentage will go up, and he still is one of the best role players in the league, but I'm starting to question whether he could be a star or whether his ceiling is just one of the best role players in the league, which isn't bad, but just a little bit disappointing. But he is only 23 years old, so maybe next year is his breakout season. Norman Powell's stats overall for the season haven't looked good, but they're a little bit deflated because of how terrible he was at the beginning of the year. But as of late, he has been back to his usual self. And I think if he starts playing like a 6th Man of the Year candidate consistently, like I believe he's capable of, it can really be beneficial to Toronto. And if I had to make a prediction for Toronto for the rest of the season, I still think they're a playoff team, but I think they will finish with a 6th to 8th seed because I think these early losses will come back to bite them and hold them back from being a top 5 seed. But if they want to get back in the playoff contention, they need to go on a huge win streak sometime soon. But just because I think Toronto will bounce back doesn't mean there's not a chance that they don't ever bounce back and they just keep losing. And if that's the case, I believe Toronto should look to retool their roster. And I don't say rebuild because I do think Toronto has a lot of talent, but Toronto should either make a bunch of small moves or make a big move, like maybe trading for James Harden. And I do believe Toronto has enough assets to make a move. For example, they could trade Pascal Siakam, Norman Powell, and 2 first-round picks to Houston, and James Harden and PJ Tucker to the Raptors. And I believe getting Harden would make Toronto a real contender in the East, but I doubt Harden would be cool going to Toronto. Kyle Lowry has also said that there has been no talks between him and the Toronto Chies between getting an extension. And with his contract being up this season, there's a chance Toronto trades Cal to a contender like Philly, Utah, or the Clippers. But obviously there's a chance that Cal just finishes his career with Toronto, but him getting traded is still a possibility. But yeah, I still believe Toronto will bounce back, and I believe they're still a good team. Not necessarily title contenders, but yeah, a good team. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Let me know how good you think the Raptors will be this season. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel to help me reach 700 subscribers before the end of January. And comment on this video to start a conversation with me because I respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.